Hello everyone, welcome to English with Shalini. And in this video, we are going to read a essay by Francis Bacon, and the name of the essay is Of Studies. Here, this is a very popular essay. So, Of Study was first published in 1597 in the volume which contained 10 essays, of which this was the first. So, as the title suggests, Of Studies, the essay is about books and reading. Bacon categorizes books into three various categories according to their subject matter and treatment, and the skill and art of the writer. Bacon explains reasons and purpose of study and why we study, and suggests different modes of selecting the books, how we should select books, and the manner of study, how we should study. He also explains the comparative value of different subjects, that what are the advantages of the different subjects. So let's begin the essay. Studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Their chief use for delight is in privateness and retiring, for ornament is in discourse, and for ability is in judgment and disposition of business. For expert men can execute and perhaps judge of particulars one by one, but the general counsel and the plot and the marshalling of affair comes best from those that are learned. So let's see the word meanings glossary first. Delight means pleasure, ornament means refinement, retiring means alone, seclusion, discourse means conversation or debate, marshalling of affairs means management or orderly arrangement, or we can say of good arrangement of affairs of life. So, expert man means specialist of an any area or subjects. So, here what he means is um, Bacon here mentions three main uses of studies. Studies gives us delight. It is for our pleasure. We feel good and we feel happy when we are reading, and they make our conversation interesting. And especially we feel happy when we are alone and we are reading in alone in seclusion. So it gives us lot of pleasure. Then he says that studies make our conversation interesting, and studies improve our ability also. Study give us pleasure when we are alone. Studies also embellish or decorate our conversation. Our conversation becomes very flowery and nice when we are learned. The language of well-read man has a peculiar learned flavor, and it attracts the attention of listener and pleases him and other people. Studies here only doesn't mean that books, reading books. Studies here means reading every kind of books, means not just that course book. It means every kind of books. So, studies also provide the ability to tackle practical affairs of life. A man of profession can best execute his plans and understand nature of individual cases, by the learned man is the fittest to advise on the planning and execution of different matters. So learned man can tackle the practical things of life very in a very better manner. Now, to spend too much time in study is sloth. Bacon here writes that if we are spending too much time in studies, it is just a waste of time. It's just a sloth. Sloth means it's a laziness. It's a laziness, and to use them too much for ornament is affectation. And if we are using too much of our learning in our conversation, and so this is just a show off and nothing else. We should not do so. To make judgment wholly by their rule is humor of a scholar. And if we are judging our things, and if we are managing our affairs of life only based on of our learning, then they are just eccentricity, and that is not good. Then he says they perfect nature and are perfected by experiences. Studies perfect nature and perfected by experiences. So studies makes our nature perfect, and that nature are perfected by experiences. But this this nature is also perfected or also uh, becomes good by experiences. Experience matters a lot in our life. For natural abilities are like natural plants that need pruning by study, and study themselves to give forth directions too much at large, except they be bounded by experience. So here, expert man means specialist of an area or subject. Particulars means specific occasion and events. General counsel means general rule. Plots mean planning. Learned means who have read well and utilize their learning. Sloth means laziness. Affectation means artificiality. Humor means eccentricities. Natural abilities means inherited mental qualities. Pruning means pruning or trimming. So, act large means too vague, bounded means limited correctly. So, experiences of life matter a lot in our life. If we are experienced, we can manage our life very well. Now he writes crafty man contemns studies. Here contemns is a obsolete spelling. Here it means condemns. So crafty man is condemns studies. Simple men admire them, and wise men use them. For they teach not their own use, but that is wisdom without them, and above them won by observation. So here what Bacon means is that first of all we will see the word meanings. Here, crafty man means cunning people, shrewd people. Use means application to life situation. Without means outside. Above them means more valuable. Observation means practical experience of life. So here, uh, Bacon says that the intelligent men of practical experience in a craft look down upon books as they consider books useless for them. So shrewd person doesn't give a lot of importance to books. According to them, studies are not so important because they can manage their affairs of life without studies. And the educated people look at books with wonder. The uneducated people looks at books with wonder because they are uneducated for them, so that books and the studies is wonderful thing and exceptional thing. But the wise people use books in a best possible way. The knowledge offered by books is not confined only to what is contained in them. There lies wisdom even beyond these books. The most important types of knowledge is that which is yielded by practical examination and experiences of life. So experiences of life matters a lot in our life. Now he says, read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to find talk and discuss, but to weigh and consider. So here Bacon says that here Bacon recommends the best approach towards books. He warns against three attitude in particular. Firstly, one should not take up a book with a preconceived notion of disputing with the author's view. So, one main intention should not be only to refute the opinions or object to the opinions expressed in books. Secondly, one should also not be ready to believe everything that one finds in a book. Thirdly, the purpose of reading should also not be merely the selection of some ideas and expression which may be borrowed by the reader and used in own writing and conversation later on. Bacon suggests that proper way to study is to carefully examine every proposition that one comes across during the course of one's study and form an independent opinion about them. Now He further says, some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. That is, some books are to be read only in parts, others to be read but not curiously, and some few to be read wholly and with diligence and attention. So here what he means is, Bacon says that the same method of study should not be followed for all types of books. Some books do not deserve to be read thoroughly and completely. They should be read only in parts. These are other books. There are other books which are not fit to be read carefully. They are just for casual reading. They have to be hurriedly gone through as we swallow some type of food or some type of pills. But these are some books which needs full attention. There are some books which we should read with full attention, and we should do a careful study. They are to be read in full and with all care and diligence, and the wisdom contained in them have to be fully absorbed as we do with the sum of the food, which is carefully munched and fully digested. Now, wise man. Reading make full man. Now next we'll some books also may be read by deputy and extract made of them by others, but that would be only in less important argument and the meaner sort of books. Else distilled books are like common distilled water, flashy things. Now we will see the word meanings here. Um, here above them means more valuable, observation means practical experience of life. Um, Confute means falsify or prove false. To weigh and consider means to evaluate the worth. Tasted means read in parts. Curiously means carefully. Diligence means with hard work, labor. Swallowed means cursory reading. Chewed means understood thoroughly. Arguments means subject for consideration. Distilled books means summaries. Flashy means insipid or dull. Full ma- full man means well informed person. So um, here Bacon is saying that there are some books which should not be read in fully. We can read just summaries, or we can just get the summaries from some deputy or some people and extract made of them by others, but that would be only for less. But this should done with only less important books and not a good books, because these kind of books are common distilled water, or otherwise these kind of distilled books or this kind of summaries or abstract are just like a distilled water, and these are just like a flashy things, and flashy here means um, so these are of no much use. Flashy here means insipid or dull. So if we are just doing summary is not so summary may be dull. Now, reading make the full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. And therefore, if a man write little, he had need have a great memory. If he consider little, he had need have a present wit. And if he reads little, he has need have much cunning to seem to know that he doth not. Now, word meaning first. Here, ready man means quick witted person. Present wit means presence of mind or quick reply with intelligence. Natural philosophy means physics, chemistry. Witty means imaginative person, ingenious person. Logic means science of reasoning. So, Here what Bacon means is that Bacon talks about the advantage of reading. He says that reading makes a man well informed, and his understanding becomes complete. About conversation, he says that it makes man witty, but it is writing which makes one accurate. It's If somebody is deficient in any this skill, that is reading, talking and writing, one should supplement them in other ways. If someone is not proficient in reading, he should have sharp memory. If someone converse little, he should have a great presence of mind. In this way, if someone does not read much, he should be clever enough to let others think that he knows a lot about those matters of which he has only little knowledge. So this is explanation by now. History makes men wise, poet witty, mathematics subtle, natural philosophy deep, moral grave, logic rhetoric able to contend, abute studies is more, nay there is not stone or impediments in the wit. So we will first the word meanings here. Logic means science of reasoning. Rhetoric means the art of persuasion, speaking. Content means persuade. About study is more. Study passes into character. Stoned means hindrance. Wrought out means removed. So here Bacon says that history makes men wise. If we are reading history, we becomes wise, and poets witty. And if we are reading poems, we becomes witty. We becomes logical and imaginative. The mathematics subtle. Mathematics is a subject which make us subtle, and our concentration increases by reading, by doing mathematics. Subtle here is obsolete English. In it is a and but if we will do in for modern English, that is subtle. Natural philosophy deep, and if we are reading natural philosophy, so we our thinking will become deep. What is natural philosophy? Physics, chemistry, etc. It becomes so it makes us deep, and we are more thoughtful by reading this. Then moral grave, if we are reading moral literature, our nature becomes grave and serious. Logic and rhetoric able to contend. And what is logic? Science of reasoning. So if we are reading logic, and if we are reading rhetoric, the art of persuasion, speaking, then we are better able to contend, and we are good for debate. Then abute studies in Morse. Here, um, here Bacon means that studies pass into character. If we are studying, means whatever we are reading, it shapes our character. Our character is, or our nature is shaped by studies. Nay, there is no stand or impediments in wit, but may be wrought out by fit studies like disease of body, may have appropriate exercises. So, here stoned means hindrance, wrought out means removed. Uh, so, here Bacon means that we can cure our illness. Um, there is no hindrance or no impediments in the wit, but may be wrought out by studies. So we can cure our illness of our intelligence or our wit by studies. As like a disease of body, maybe appropriate exercise, we can cure diseases of our body by proper exercises. There are different kinds of exercise for different kind of illness. In the similar way, we can cure our mind with different kinds of books or different kinds of subjects. So he writes, bowling is good for stone and brains, shooting for lungs and breast, gentle walking for stomach, riding for head, and the like. So if a man be wandering, let him study the mathematics. Here, um, here the word meanings first. Rain means kidney, shooting means archery, wandering means not concentrating, needs never so little means no matter how little. Receipt means cure or remedy. So he says that bowling is good for stone and rains. Here, bowling means the sport which we play in malls. That's like a that's a different kind of sports, and this sport makes our it is good for his kidney stone. It is good for rains our kidney, and he says that shooting is good for lung and breast. Gentle walking for stomach. We feel our stomach feel good when we walk gently after dinner or lunch. Then riding for head. Since in riding our head pops up, so riding is good for head because it gets proper blood circulation and the like. So he is saying that these are different remedy for different kinds of illness. If a man wit be wandering, if man's wit or man intelligence is wandering, he is not able to concentrate. Let him study mathematics because mathematics improves concentration. For in demonstrations, if wit be called away never so little, he must begins again. If his wit is not apt to distinguish or find differences, let him study schoolman. So, so here he is saying that if one is not able to differentiate between one thing from the other, let him study schoolman, for they are simony sectors. So, because these schoolmen or this logical people are simony sector. Simony sector means hair splitting, बाल की खाल निकालना है. Simony sector means hair splitters. So if he be not apt to beat over matters and to call up one thing to prove and illustrate another, let him study the lawyer cases. To every defect of mind may have the special receipt. And he Bacon means that if one is not able to uh, prove one thing and illustrate another or explain another thing, let him studies law cases, because if you study law you will able to prove your points and you will able to illustrate your things and your point of view. So according to him, every defect of mind have a special kind of remedy by study, and every special receipt you can cure your defect of mind by proper study. So this was the essay by Bacon. Thank you so much for listening.